news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon, Spa, Nail and Barbershops, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Tissely Cross, Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical, and Digicel. Sign up for Digicel Plus Home Light Bundles, faster internet, movies, and sports.
Mrs. BVI Globe, Dr. Arlene T. Penn, and a delegation led by Director Alicia Green are all back in the Virgin Islands, and with great news. After participating in the competition for some 12 years, a grant is awarded.
Hi, we're so happy to be home. We want to say a huge thank you to JTV, to Kathy for being there with us from beginning to end and bringing the story back to our communities. Like I said, we didn't only touch for BVI, but we also made an impact for the Caribbean region, and JTV did that for us. Listen, BVI is a household name at the Mrs. Globe International Pageant, and I think this year I would sum it up and say it was magical. The reason I'm using the word magical is because there's some things that happen, we can't explain it. And I think when you go to the social media and look at some of the videos and clips that were shared, maybe you might be able to put a comment there to let us know what you got from it. But Dr. Penn made us proud in this region. She touched so many lives. We got first runner-up for the virtual voting, which is the choice of the people. And the amount of money that was raised for this region has never been done before. So we were able to be gifted a grant from the WIN Foundation, which is what the money was going to, and they gifted a grant back to WIN BVI so that we can use that money to help women in need. And I'm really happy about that. Like I said, it's the first time it has ever happened for us. And so these types of things I don't take lightly. And again, for me, it was the impact of what we were able to create this year with Dr. Penn. But I'm going to give her a chance now to share from her seat some takeaways and her personal experience that she had.
Okay. So the first thing I'd like to say, I just want to thank God first, because without God, this journey could not have been possible. I want to thank the committee, Alicia, because you've done a lot of work just to get me here to this point. It's not easy to be pushing a queen, because sometimes there have been people who would say that, this is a fairy tale thing. No, this is not what this is about. This is about a cause, and the cause has always been for me that of cervical cancer awareness. I want to thank the committee for believing in my vision in terms of making sure that those numbers, we have to drive those numbers down, because women should not be dying unnecessarily as a result of cervical cancer, because after all, I'm here 19 years later. But I want to talk about the competition itself, because pageant week, that's what we call it. Pageant week, oh boy. From the first day we got there, I don't know, all the women, we just had a synergy from all the different countries. And I've left there with an understanding that, BVI, you have an infectious laugh, an infectious smile. Everything was BVI. And I'm happy that the women, I now have queens all over in different countries who I can speak with to get my platform moving very swiftly, because in their countries are affected as well in those global numbers that we hear the World Health Organization are always talking about. But I want to talk about events, because I really love the events, because I believe that I went with some really nice clothes. I really loved my wardrobe, and I want to thank so many persons who were part of that. There's so many names that I could call, but I have to talk about Debbie from Umi Fashions, Hilda from Kim Asia, that's Jomin Smith, Beautiful by Jazene. We had Petra from Glamorous Fashions. They all pitched in. Denley Vanterpool from Everyday Fashions, who did his part to make sure that I had all the things I needed to have. The song competition. I think that part, I don't think that I can explain that properly. I can only say that I was able to deliver. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted the song to make an impact, and it did. It did, but I didn't realize it until after, when I saw, I have to say this, I know I don't know how she's gonna feel, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I saw Catty after I was finished performing. Catty came crying. I saw I saw Pauline behind. She was crying as well. And then we had our first lady emeritus from the King Gardner Baptist Church, which is Marian M. Turnbull, who was there present as well, and with her some little tears in her eyes as well. And you have Roxanne as well, who were there with me, and Jennifer, who were there with me, and they were like, listen, you see what just happened?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting and I'm saying, I'm not understanding what you're saying, because you see, I'm the one delivering. And because you're delivering, sometimes you really do not get an opportunity to understand and feel what people were feeling. So I was waiting for the video to come out. And when I saw the video, okay, I'm seeing it happening, and I'm asking the question, well, I don't understand what you want me to can you explain what happened? And many persons who have asked cannot explain what has happened, but what they do know, that it was a wonderful experience that was spirit filled. And I think that is the impact that I wanted with the song in the first place, because the underlying core of the song is that of love your neighbor as yourself. In other words, you have to love you first before you can even love anyone, because very often we see ourselves through the image of others, but we need to really start seeing ourselves through ourselves so that we can love others. I want to say as well that it was an honor for me to perform Reclaiming Me. Reclaiming Me the night of the pageant. Imagine, while I'm competing, I still have to take the time to perform Reclaiming Me. Reclaiming Me, I would have won last year the Reclaiming Me Song of the Year, Win Song of the Year category. And to be able to sing that song to the audience, it says something huge about not just the song alone, but the impact of the song. And that is a song that's played every Wednesday and Thursday during we have like a Reclaiming Me class that happens from time to time. And my song is the first song that you hear right before the Reclaiming Me program. The program begins. So I think that all in all, we've been able to do what we were supposed to do. The segments, I really love the segments, and the introduction in terms of the flags. I think that was the most touching part of the evening for me. That part brought some tears for me before I came out, because you have to raise the flag on the right on the right of you, and you're carrying this flag, and you're carrying the weight, the support, the love of your country on your shoulders, and that says a lot. It said a lot for me. And the costume that I decided to depict was that of the blue economy, because if you think about the work that the government is even doing, the territories is even doing in the Caribbean, we want to make sure that we are protecting the blue economy as much as we can. So I made sure that I put on something that reflected not just the sea, not just our sand, but it reflected fishing industry, because you would notice that my skirt was knitted, and my sister Kishmit Brooks, she knitted that skirt, and it took us a few months to put that together, because it's a vision I had in my head, and to see her just to see her stitching that dress, knitting that dress together. And then she said to me, she said, Arlene, this dress represents that of our people, because my people is from Peter Island, and we come from a place where fishing has been critically important to our economy, and the knitting of the seine is something that was taught to us by our grandfather, George Smith. So she was able to make the skirt so that you could see it's a seine. it's a saying, it's a net where you can cast your net and you can catch the fish. So I think that sometimes when we're thinking about how do we best represent the Virgin Islands in our national dresses, sometimes we can even think outside the box in doing so. And I think that I was able to think outside of the box. We had Desiree from Bespoken, and Desiree Smith, who did my headpiece with the corals and the weeds to show and depict the blue waters, and then you had the white, which would depict the corals. So I think all in all, we did exceptionally well. I'm happy that I was able to win the voice of WIN, which is the voice of women in need. That is a prize that I did not anticipate, but I knew in my heart that is what I wanted anyway. And that was to make an impact, to be the voice for women in need, not just locally, not just regionally, but now it is proof that my voice is that of globally, global. So it's now time for me to go forward and make even a huge impact. Even with the song, I'm expecting to take that song internationally. I want it played on every radio station, everywhere, so that at the end of the day, everyone understands the importance of self-love. So Alisa, is there anything else you want to perhaps add in the end?
Listen, I just want to say you did great. You made us proud. You saw your number one fan a few moments
I just
ago.
Saw her. Sonia.
I just think the whole experience, like I said before, was just magical.
Yes.
You definitely made an imprint for us. And on behalf of WIN BVI, we know that you are going to write that book that I keep telling you about. The book is coming. Her journey is not finished yet. This was just a part of it.
I'm sure just like how my husband was pushing me behind the scenes, he's going to push me to get the book done as well.
I mentioned it from last
He has been a tower of strength for me throughout this entire process. And people may not have seen him in any of the photos because he's not there to take the photos.
He was
he's
right
been
there
taking the photos, as a matter of fact.
Everything, and he is Mr. BVI.
Mr. BVI.
He is the Mr. BVI for the year. Trust me. Arlene, you have a real cheerleader there in your corner.
Yes.
Cherish.
Yes.
Cherish him.
I shall.
I have a bill to you know. But I want to say thank you again to JTV. I just want to give also a shout out to some people that came through for us at the last minute, but most importantly, someone that's been working with us every year to get our ladies ready for poise and posture. Really? Because our preparation is threefold: mind, body, spirit. And Gilda Richardson, we love you. We want to say thank you so much for taking the time to do what you do for these women annually. For the love of it. And she's awesome. Right? We also want to say thank you to Apparel BVI for coming through with some of our trinkets. BVI Finance, again, for coming through, giving us some trinkets. I don't want to forget anyone. So what I will do, look out for our posts on our social media, mrsbvi.com Facebook page. We're going to put all our thank yous there because we really appreciate. We really appreciate every one of you coming through for us at the last minute, so that we can have this success that we had in Palm Springs this past week.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Steak. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. I vote for Cowboy as a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.